Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to JWR Tutoring, and today we are going to be talking about the elements of plot. So if you want to know how to identify the parts of a story correctly, stay tuned. So let's start off by talking about plot. What exactly is it? Plot, simply put, is the sequence of events from the beginning of the story to the end. Because remember, a plot has a beginning, a middle, and an end. We break those subsections up into 5 sections. The exposition is the beginning. The middle is the rising actions, climax, and falling actions. And the resolution is the ending. Exposition is pretty simple. It's the beginning of the story where the author introduces you to the characters, who they are, what they're about, the setting, where the whole story is taking place, and of course, the tone of the story. Is it a funny tone or is it a, horrific or suspenseful tone? That's introduced right there in the exposition. So the rising actions are the fun part of the story, right? And they begin right after the inciting incident. An inciting incident is one action within the story that starts the conflict or the problem of the story. So that after that action happens, then we have what we call a cause and effect trickling of events that happen one after the other that keep that conflict going, which keeps us interested in reading this story, right? So let me give you an example with the Avengers, right? So Loki comes and he decides that he is going to shoot up the entire place because he's going to take over the earth. That was the inciting incident. Well, then after that, you had a whole bunch of incidents that had to happen in order for the story to continue. In fact, if these incidents didn't happen, the story would probably just stop, right? So if the Avengers had never assembled in order to fight against Loki, that story would not continue to exist, right? If Loki had not killed Agent or one of the agents or whatever, then the Avengers would not have gotten mad enough to fight him in New York. Again, these are incidents that happen that keeps the story moving. So it's kind of like, if this happened, then this happens. And if that happens, then this happens, right? It just continues the story all the way through. We call these the rising actions. So now here we are at the climax. The climax is the most exciting part of the story because we don't know what's going to happen. It is the part of the story where the conflict has come to a peak. It has come to a point where we have to decide the fate of the characters. Like, what's going to happen? Is the protagonist going to win or is the antagonist going to win? Is the protagonist going to break up with the boyfriend? Is what is going to happen? Like, it is the most suspenseful part of the entire story, and the fate of the characters are coming to a head, and we call this the climax. The falling actions are pretty simple to determine. After the climax, where all the exciting things have happened and, the actions have come to that peak, well, the conflict or the problem of the story begins to resolve. The characters start, breaking up or getting back together. The fighting actually starts. Someone has won the war. It's those actions in the story that kind of let you know that the conflict is coming to an end, so the story is coming to the end. And those are the falling actions. Finally, we come to the resolution. This is the end of the story where the conflict has totally resolved itself and the characters and all of the actions of the story has ended. It is the complete end of the story. Now, sometimes the resolution is left open, and we call that to be continued. The author will continue it later on, maybe in another book or another series. But we want to make sure that you understand that that also is the ending of the story. So now that we finished talking about plot, you guys have a wonderful day. But don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more of these videos. Also, head on over to JWR Tutoring. I offer classes and private tutoring. I am happy to help you if you need it. Have a wonderful day.